Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Boy, I tell you what, the plagues are real. They are real. I don't care what anybody say. The plagues are definitely real, and we are seeing them in real time. We are. And all I can say is the people that think the things that we are witnessing are not real, I would not want to be them when judgment comes. That's all I got to say about that. But, ladies and gentlemen, I am looking at a lot of the things that have happened over the last several weeks. And in my mind and in my heart, there is no doubt that what we are seeing is very, very biblical. It really is. And there are people that still don't want to believe what they're seeing. There are many that don't want to believe what they're seeing, y'all, but it is real. It really, truly is, you know? And I did see the latest on North Carolina, Asheville. Sorry about that.
12
Hold
Tribes
on.
on Earth is one of my favorite hair product lines. Their products smell so good, and it's
Oh,
all natural ingredients. They use ingredients like rosemary, moringa, patena, and hibiscus. These are
where
all
is that
known for hydrating
from?
your hair, stimulating hair growth, and strengthening your
All
roots.
right.
You can start seeing noticeable results as little as 3 to 4 weeks.
Let me just
Hey guys, it's hair wash day and I have the perfect routine for all hair.
All right, y'all. And when I say I got thrown off, not once, but twice, when I tried to come back a second time, I got kicked out again. So I'm back. Hopefully, third time a charm, because this is ridiculous. So, anyway, I have one more customer. This is a customer that was trying to get to tailbone length hair and was having a hard time reaching that and started using my product, and she's there now. So I'm going to show this spot and then we'll get to the story. Boy, I can't believe how bad they don't want me to speak.
Hey guys, it's hair wash day and I have the perfect routine for all hair types. 12 Tribes on Earth is one of my favorite hair product lines. Their products smell so good and it's all natural ingredients. They use ingredients like rosemary, moringa, botana, and hibiscus. These are all known for hydrating your hair, stimulating hair growth, and strengthening your roots. You can start seeing noticeable results as little as 3 to 4 weeks, which I love because it kills two birds with one stone. This product will be linked in my description below. So if you guys want more details about that, just click that link. That's all for this video. I love you guys. Toos.
All right. So you can see she's biracial and she's been using my product since the beginning. I'm shocked at how many people of other ethnicities are using my stuff. It's astounding. I had also an Arab man that is using it, and he said he is noticing changes in a spot that he was thinning in on top. So I'm just glad people are seeing results and you're doing these spots for me. I deeply appreciate it. I really do. So let me get to what I want to show you. All right. This is a story that came out from CBS. And this is an invasive species that has hit Hawaii and it's causing a lot of damage. And I don't know how they're going to get these things under control. It seems like when the Most High sends a plague, he makes sure it's one that's never going to be easy for these folks to get rid of. All right. So, please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Okay. So let me play this video from CBS News. Oh, hold on.
The South Bay now, where an invasive species of beetles from Southern California has now made its way to the Bay Area. And county officials are worried it could kill thousands of healthy trees in Silicon Valley. Our Brian Hackney reports.
1, 2, 3, 4!
It's another invasion of the beetles, but these are the bad news beetles. They're invading Silicon Valley. In fact, they're within walking distance of the acting ag commissioner in Santa Clara.
The trees right along the road right here are infested.
This is Drew Raymond, and it's a mystery how these little bugs got here from their native Southeast Asia.
Nobody knows for sure, but it's thought that packing material in a pallet or something could host the beetle for a while it was transported over here from Southeast Asia.
Another mystery, how widespread is the infestation?
Right now, we don't know the full extent and the full spread of the beetle. We know it's here on Oakland Road.
Tree after tree slated for destruction. You'd think the damage is being done by a big bug, but these are hardly bigger than ants.
Here's another one, actually, just as we're talking, looking around, there's one crawling right there.
Yep.
That's one of the females crawling around. They're easy to pop out of the tree. There's one.
They're called invasive shot-hole borers because they bore into bark and leave hundreds of holes and staining behind.
Staining, the frass, those are all indications of an infestation of this beetle. The dead giveaway is the size of the hole of the entry hole. It's the size of a ballpoint pen ball.
It's caused havoc ever since. No sycamore tree, no box elder is safe. Does it infect just these trees?
No, it doesn't. It infests different types of trees. Sycamores and box elders are its favorite, but there's a whole list of trees that it'll reproduce and kill those trees.
One stark example, the Tijuana River Valley. Here's how one segment looked before a beetle attack. Here's how it looked afterward. And now it's in Silicon Valley. Back in his office, Drew and his team are mapping the beetle's location.
And here's where we found it, and here's kind of the front line. So up here all the way to the golf course, down to Highway 680. There was a detection at Riverview Park. Yeah, this one down here. So this one's actually dying of Fusarium wilt right here. You can see the top of it kind of dying back.
As for what can be done about it, not a lot.
With a tree like this and an infestation like this, the best management is just to remove it.
And that's why the bad news borer
Let's see if you can grab it.
is creating a different kind of beetle mania in the South Bay.
Not the beetle you want. If you see any signs of these invasive insects on the trees, you can contact the Santa Clara County's Division of Agriculture.
All right, y'all. Now, the invasion that I'm going to talk about is in Hawaii. And these beetles are pretty much doing the same thing. They're destroying the trees. They said this invasion in Hawaii is pretty new. But these suckers are way bigger than those borer beetles that you saw CBS News talk about, but what they do to trees is similar. All right, so let me show you this. All right. So Hawaii is putting out a story that they need to race to stop the spread of a tree-killing rhinoceros beetle, invasive species. And they said these are real difficult because they can fly up to 2 miles, and each beetle can lay up to 140 eggs. Okay, and if you got an infestation, that's a lot of reproducing going on. So Hawaii is ramping up its efforts to stop the spread of rhinoceros beetles, an invasive species that have expanded its presence drastically since it was detected. They said they detected this thing probably around 10 years ago in the state, and they have exploded. Now, they are not even native to Hawaii. They're native to Africa, China, and Southeast Asia. So they're just assuming that it might have gotten there through imports into Hawaii. So they are nocturnal, so they're more active at night. They can fly up to 2 miles when looking for a good food source. The females alone can lay up to 140 eggs in their lifetime, which is typically 4 to 9 months. So these things, of all places, were first detected at Pearl Harbor. So it has spread across the state, and they have detected it multiple times in recent months. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, they said it does not bite but carry disease. since they live in dirt and mulch most of their lives. But what they do is they climb onto the trees and they kill the trees. So, according to Hawaii's Invasive Species Council, the beetles can kill coconut trees, palm trees, and other tropical crops and bananas once they bore into them, and ultimately jeopardizes the economy, the entire ecosystem, agriculture, and food security on the island. Wow, them suckers are big. I even looked at a picture of one in somebody's hand. They are big, y'all. These are some big behind insects, beetles. Earlier this month, Honolulu, they removed the infested coconut trees that were there in efforts to try to slow them down, but it has kicked up again. So cutting down trees did not slow the infestation down. It's another sad day for us. We don't like removing trees, especially trees like the coconut tree. Not only is this the tree of life culturally, very, very important to the Hawaiian people. Also, today is another sad day because there'll be more sad days. All right, so her name is Roxanne Adams. She's the administrator of the City Department of Parks and Recreation's Division of Urban Forestry. On the North Shore, about 80 trees are slated for removal because of these rhinoceros beetles. The unfortunate truth is the situation right now is going to get worse before it gets better. We're going to have to start removing more and more palms. And, they are concerned about public safety. They have set up more than 100 traps around the state to monitor. And earlier this month, the state said they have found infestations in other parts of Hawaii under the rule of landscaping materials such as compost, wood chips, mulch, and palms taller than 4 feet are not allowed to be shipped. So Hawaii's Board of Agriculture has approved rule changes to help control the spread of the invasive species following a 20-month delay. So the delay has caused public outcry because the rule changes are intended to help the agriculture department stem the movements of these infested areas, including coconut rhinoceros beetles. Once finalized, the rule will prohibit the movement of infested material like soil, compost between islands, and increase inspection requirements. They also will include specific examples of invasive species to help guide the department and industry. So if they try to get, like, let's say you just want to do some landscaping at your house and you want to buy soil, you're running the risk of the soil being infested with these rhinoceros beetles, and which means you can cause an infestation just in your neighborhood if you mess up and get one of these bags of soil with these beetles in it. I mean, that's crazy, but this is what they're saying. So board members approved changes unanimously and agreed the invasive species need to be better addressed and quickly. Yeah, because the residents on the islands are also complaining about the invasion because they got them around their house. Wow. So Coconut rhinoceros beetles were detected for the first time on the island statewide in subsequent months, while little fire ants caused serious concern. Right. So they said the windward coast, they have an issue with fire ants, and it's a serious issue. Boy, that sounds like another plague. Compost soil and green waste, as well as nursery trade, have been the blame for the movement of those pests. So, y'all, all they can do is try to get this under control, but just the way these things can move, it's like they never can get all of them. How do you eradicate something like this that can constantly move up to 2 miles every single day? They can move up to 2 miles per day. You know? Yes. You know what? Hello, Love and Swift. Let me tell you something. Whenever we see these things, that's the first thing that always pop into my mind is Egypt. Egypt always comes to mind because I remember all of the plagues that hit them, and the Most High most certainly used insects. He used insects, and it was maybe a week ago. I was telling y'all there were reports out of North Carolina that people were getting bitten by fire ants that came out of the ground. You know, they are going through hell. And now they're saying they are getting a little more help, but it's a problem getting help in there because some of the residents are trying to fight FEMA when they come in there. So that in itself is a problem. So now you got this invasion of these nocturnal rhinoceros beetles that they said they are tearing the trees up there in Hawaii. And it's gotten really bad. When you look at that, let me see if I can pull up that picture of it in somebody's hand so you can see the size of this thing. These things are ginormous. Let me see if I can pull it up so you can just get a glimpse of it. All right. Here we go. This is in somebody's hand so you can see just how big it is. Move this down and I'll be able to show you. I think if I had to be invaded by any insect, I would definitely not want to see this thing coming. Okay, here we go. Now I'll be able to show it to you. Look at the size of that thing. And this is what's invading Hawaii. Look at the size of that. That thing is huge. That thing is like ginormous. But this is what they have. It is. I was like, wow, when I looked at it in somebody's hand, you know, those little boar beetles that you saw in California, and they are kicking California's behind. It's not all over California. It's like around the Alameda area where they're taking out a bunch of trees. But this one is Hawaii, man. And that's why they're saying there are people, that's why they're prohibiting a lot of people from buying soil right now, because they said these things are even infested in the soil. So like I said, if you buy a bag of soil, and you spread it out in your yard because you're just doing some landscaping, you can now infest your entire neighborhood just doing that one act. That's why they're really careful about people buying soil in Hawaii now, because the soil is loaded with these things in it. So, I mean, yeah, that's crazy just to think. Yeah, I would freak out if I seen a bunch of these big behind things. I would absolutely freak out for real. Hmm. Yeah, I hope they don't fly here because we sure don't need them in mainland or the lower 48. I don't want to see them things. Mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying because we're seeing a lot of these things. First in North Carolina after the hurricane, the yellow jackets came out and attacked the people. And then the fire ants came out and attacked the people. And then now you see this huge invasion going on in Hawaii. They said these things are statewide and they're trying to get it under control because they are just wiping out so many trees. Yeah, this is definitely a plague. It's a plague. But you know why North Carolina is still going through it? Because they are denying, first of all, they're all over the social media denying that they're a sundown town. But people said if you go in their history, you can see all of the lynchings that they have done in that county and especially in Asheville. And do these Gentiles realize the more you deny your sins, the worse the judgment is going to get? I guess they didn't get the memo on that. The more you sit around lying about you love everybody and you treat everybody the same, and then we're looking at this horrific history coming out of those sundown towns there. Your judgment is going to get worse the more you deny things and try to act like you didn't do this and didn't do that and you all didn't have nothing to do with this and didn't have. Do you know that kind of talk is going to bring the judgment worse on you? You can keep saying you ain't had nothing to do with anything. Many of us living today did not have anything to do with our forefathers, breaking all kinds of our biblical laws, but those judgments still fell upon us, although we weren't physically there and took part in turning on the Most High. We didn't do that, but the sins still fell upon us, right? So these folks keep in their, as long as they keep in their mouth, oh, he didn't have nothing to do with that. I didn't do it. I didn't. Do you realize you're bringing more judgment on yourself by saying that? You are. You are. But you have at it. That's the way I see it. You go right ahead. Keep bringing that judgment on yourself. Well, you know what else is unnerving? They seem to believe they should be forgiven without seeking forgiveness. They really truly believe anything they do should be forgiven and they should not have to seek out that forgiveness. And that's very unrealistic. Oh, yeah. I was looking, Georgia, I think it was 27 people they reported had died. And yeah, if you look at some of those towns that Hurricane Helene went through, those towns in Georgia got towed up. North Carolina, they're talking about because it was a much bigger area that got destroyed. That's why they're putting most of the shine on North Carolina, but you're right, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, all the places where Helene went through before it struck North Carolina. It was a lot of devastation even along the way getting to North Carolina. But the destruction was not as big, so they don't talk about it. Mhm. But yeah, it looks like judgment is definitely in full effect. The only thing is, they don't seem to know it. Or if they do know it, they're trying their best not to reveal that they know the judgment is here. I'll just put it that way. Many of them probably are aware of it, but they won't say nothing because that's just the nature of the beast. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. And, instead of watching so hard at the election, we should be really watching the spiritual and physical works of the Most High. Now, I am going to do a panel after the election. So, more than likely, the following day, I'm going to put a panel of people together and we're going to discuss the election and what happened. But after that, I'm not going to talk about it that much anymore. Whoever wins, the way I see it, they ain't going to be going above and beyond for us. I already know that. So once I do that panel, I'm more inclined to focusing on the works of our Heavenly Father and what He is bringing upon these people right now. I think that's way more important than some US election. But y'all, thank you so much for being here. I really enjoy our time together. And I want to thank all of my customers that have done commercial promos for me based on results they got from my product. So thank you. I really appreciate it. And I absolutely love the fact that you got results and you wanted to share those results with me. So thank you for that. And everybody, please enjoy the rest of your day. Shalom, family.